when I think of silver, I think it's conservative. I think it's a conservative play that offers tremendous upside potential. There's an anomaly there. Normally, you don't associate something that's conservative that you look at as a tool of preservation, as a tool of income generation, or
Yeah.
as a tool of profit. And I'll tell you that in all the years I've been involved in investing, 33 years owning Miles Franklin, I've never seen a backdrop on, and I could probably, without even having seen that video, tell you what you said on across the board, and those reasons all stacked up together. The only thing that makes me puzzled about it is how the hell people aren't seeing this across the globe.
Right.
Why you and I and the people listening to this show represent but the pimple on the back of the elephant's rear end in terms of percent ownership in allocation across the globe. And when what you said is, look, no one wants to buy it when it's cheap, only when it goes up. When you speak about human emotion, this is why there's a whole school of investment ideology and wave theory. Kondratiev wave, Elliott wave, it speaks to human emotions. That's why so few people ever succeed in investing, because no one wants to break free from the herd. You want to follow the herd where the emotion is, where you have to see with your own eyes validation of a trend instead of trusting your gut and your intuition that the valuation is so absurd that it doesn't matter that the herd thinks you're unconventional and doing things that seem strange. Your gut knows that, hey, it's important to buy low and sell high, like we were told when we're young. And when you talk to guys like Rick Rule, who has made a very huge impact instrumentally on my life and on my career, he'll tell you that the most success he's ever had for himself and for his clients has been when he was purchasing when there was blood in the streets, so to speak, purchasing when no one would have ever made that purchase. He talks about one deal that he knew was so fantastic and it collapsed in price. And instead of giving up and capitulating, he doubled down. Now, most people wouldn't do that, but it turned out to make him incredibly wealthy amongst other trades he's ever done. The point of it is that when the fundamentals are so amazing the way that they are in silver, when all of the fundamentals that you cover, and in the video you did yesterday where you talk about all of them one after the other, and yet the price doesn't quite make sense, but yet you see the inventories being bled down from the LME, the London Metals Exchange, and the COMEX, and you see such a shortage of supply globally. It betrays the price. And when you see silver actually finish the year up and hang in there at such a strong dollar threshold, where the last time the dollar was this strong, it was under $5 an ounce, it means something. And so, yeah, I think that I think we haven't seen anything yet. And it's interesting that people have to be validated before they catch on. And that's one of the reasons I think people are drawn to you, in that, you've been speaking fundamentals as a young guy for a long time, and you haven't been following the crowd. But when the crowd turns around to see where silver is, you won't just be someone who's been, singing from the rooftops. You need to buy silver to the few people who are listening. You will be a leader in the industry. Take your place, rightfully so, as someone who has been saying this all along. And that's the most, you're not a Johnny come lately. You see the value. I see the value. Hopefully your listeners see the value in buying an asset like silver, which has such tremendous fundamentals. And oh, by the way, it's on sale. That's when you're supposed to buy things, is when they're on sale. You don't walk into Nordstrom's to buy your daughter a new dress for the school dance, and you're like, damn it, it's on sale.
Right.
It's like, you're supposed to be happy when it's on sale. And that's really, it should be the same way with investments as well. And silver, despite its incredible fundamentals, is on sale.
Yeah, I always, man, it's so true. I always tell people, when everyone's selling, you should be buying. Just do the opposite of what the majority does, because they need that confirmation and that validation. It can go higher, but we already know it will. It's so crazy how that works. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. You said there's like theories out of that or something. like a school. What were you mentioning about that?
Uh, Elliott wave and Kondratiev wave. It's wave theory. Wave theory speaks to human emotions,
Oh,
and
okay.
the emotions that people have in many. There are many people who study this will tell you that price be damned, it's human emotion that matters.
Yeah.
It's the emotions of the people that lead the herd, the waves. And I mean, you could look at it. If you want to kind of take a weird way of looking at it, no, that's not even a good example. I guess the bottom line is simply this: when Bitcoin was taking off, the people who realized the value in it when it was $1 or $2 or $3 or $5 or $10 or $20 or $50, no one thought there was real value, but the people who understood it for what it was. But it's interesting, when it was $40,000 and $50,000, the herd was fly. Oh my God! It's going to 250. It's going to a million, and then it hit 65,000 and collapsed. Now there are people who are saying, like Peter Schiff, that it'll go to zero, and he wouldn't buy it under any circumstances. And there are other people who are smart and well respected who say it's going to 250,000 this year. Who's to believe? I don't know. The difference is that, to me, Bitcoin is digital air. Silver is indispensable in industry, indispensable in warfare. Think of all those missiles that are being fired in Ukraine. There's basically a mint box of silver in the tip of every cruise missile.
Yep. 400. Yeah. David Morgan and Michelle McCory were talking about that on Kitco News the one day, I remember.
Almost exactly 500 ounces per.
Yeah, that's insane.
Ounce. So when you talk about silver, not only is it a necessity in things like solar panels and digital technology, cell phones and flat screens and in missiles and all, but the common denominator to all of that is that most of it, when it's used, it's either blown up in a missile, or it's a tiny amount in the motherboard of an iPhone that isn't even worth recycling it, or so it's used in industry and it disappears. But the fact that it has so many uses and has been money for 5,000 years, all the way back to biblical times, it's different. It's tangible. It's real. And you know what? I really do believe, when you look at the wealthy people in this world, the common denominator to all the wealthy people is not their bank account. It's their assets. Wealthy people have assets. Assets feed you, liabilities eat you. And so I just think that when you look at silver, it's a real asset, one that is needed in industry and demanded and sought after voraciously over the last several years anyway in monetary applications.